Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 4-2 loss on penalties against St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup quarter-final tonight. Unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. Once again, we've failed in the Cups, and as much as winning 55 this year was a monumental achievement, especially the way we've done it, to lose when you had a gilt-edged chance to win the Cups with Celtic being out is simply unacceptable. And it's not just the loss, it's the manner of the losses as well in both the games against St Mirren in the League Cup and tonight against St Johnstone. Considering we dropped players against St Johnstone midweek there to rest players for this game, and we did set up with a more attacking game plan tonight compared with the midweek game against St Johnstone. St Johnstone also set up with another setup, and they came to stifle us, play very defensive, and all credit to them because they done very well at that. They really limited what we could do. Granted, we had a few unlucky moments, but sometimes you've got to create your own luck, as I've said countless times, and tonight we were lethargic. We just didn't want to move for the ball. All the hallmarks of when we come up against a stuffy team like this, and we thought we had overcame that hoodoo. Maybe it's because we've been so good, and there's a lot more teams that have kind of came out and played against us for a majority of this season. We really failed again tonight, and as I said, it's completely unacceptable. The game itself, we had 5 changes from that midweek game. We started a lot more attacking, I felt, and the lineup was certainly showing that. But overall in the first half, it was a poor first half despite having a lot of possession. St Johnstone were setting up defensively. They tried to hit us in the break, and we played right into their game plan by dropping the pace, and we played with little urgency. We were dangerous in the first half when or rather Ryan Kent, because he seemed to be the only one that really wanted to move and take that ball forward. And when we upped the pace like that, Kent specifically drove the ball at the defence, and we were quite dangerous, and that's when we did get our chances. None more so in the 10th minute when the ball fell to Kamara at the back post, forced the keeper into a good save with his legs. St Johnstone themselves, they had shown again that they can be dangerous on the break going forward. They forced McGregor into a good save on the 12th minute. But they really never done anything else, and that's the annoying thing, because they did set up just to try and hit us in the break, and we contained that largely, but we didn't reciprocate with being attack minded ourselves. From our perspective, there was not enough pressure put on the St Johnstone keeper when we got the chances, and a lot of them were only half chances, but you just kind of knew from earlier on tonight we were going to struggle to score. That said, St Johnstone should have been down to 10 men right at the end of the first half. A complete reckless challenge on Hadji, with the studs fully shown. Luckily for Hadji, he jumped out of the way of it, but he did get caught in the follow through. It was a yellow card given and a foul, but for me it was a red every day of the week, but that's not the reason why we lost the game tonight. Into the second half, it was a much better second half, but still never got the breakthrough. St Johnstone again camped in their final third. It was most of our possession, a lot of half chances, a few misses by Morelos and a couple of unlucky ones as well. Morelos could have done better on a few. He was unlucky in a couple. He had one off the post, and then he had another one with a good keeper save. St Johnstone only had one real other good chance as well in the game, where in the 82nd minute O'Halloran was getting into the box on the right, but only after he fouled Helander, which absolutely nothing was given for. He got a shot off, but it was blocked to the legs by McGregor. So at the extra time, another 30 minutes to go, we had a good chance in the 96th minute where a corner came in from Tavernier on the left and at the near post. It was flicked up off Helander, off the ground, and a great save by the keeper to the near post. Goldson was taken out shortly after as well by Kane for St Johnstone. He was already on a yellow card. I've no idea why that wasn't given as a second yellow card. I think Craig got away with murder tonight as well. There was numerous fouls as well not given, but again, that's not the reason why we lost the game tonight. It was ultimately a poor performance from Rangers, unacceptable. Too many of them off the boil. Wright came on, he was fantastic going forward, but just couldn't get the break of the ball. The only pass marks I would say is the substitutions that came on, and obviously Kent as well, but it fell very short of the standards we've set. And I think from briefly hearing the manager's comments, they certainly know that, but I don't think it's acceptable to lose in the manner we did tonight. We thought we had secured it right in the last 4 minutes of extra time, where Tavernier pops up in the 116th minute and scores a goal. We had lots of possession, ended a fantastic cross by Aribo into the back post, where Tavernier was waiting to pop it in with his head. One of the few great crosses all night as well. We were pretty lacklustre in our crossing tonight from both wings, but this was a great wee cross from Aribo into the back post, and there's a great header from Tavernier. However, it was all undone on the 121st minute into injury time of extra time, and it was the Saints keeper who heads it off his own player and rolls into the back of the net. Talk about the free header that the keeper got. I don't know if it was the colour of his strip kind of, or just the marking or what, but the players really need to get tight on that keeper regardless of who it is. And with our luck tonight, you knew what was going to happen. He came up and he just headed it, and it was a good header. It was a free header, but it hit off his own player who knew nothing about it and rolled into the back of net. And that's what's annoying, is the fact that if we had just had a shot, if we had just stopped looking for the perfect angle, you can get the luck of the ball, which is exactly what St Johnstone did tonight with their goal. But our defending has to be better. And this season, we've not lost a lot of goals, but the goals we have lost have generally been silly defensive blunders like that. And that is what's been, if there is one downfall of our season, it's been that this season. So really just abysmal to lose a goal like that, especially in the dying minutes. How many goals have we lost in the last minutes of games as well? It seems to be a mental block with some of the players, that we don't do proper game management. We give the ball away and cheaply. Granted, we lost possession from Roof tonight well up into their half, where it was a foul and there was no foul given. Abysmal refereeing tonight as well with some of the decisions, but that's again the reason why we lost. Obviously, into penalties, it's pretty much a crapshoot. I'm not going to criticise anyone for missing a penalty. These are just things that happen, but it obviously puts a slight dampener on the end of the season, because it was another trophy that was there for the taking. But that's the reason why Rangers and Celtic don't have more trebles than they do, because you're not always guaranteed to win the cup, and I suppose that's the beauty of cup football in some respects, but doesn't do us any favours at all, which that's sport for you. But certainly that's something that needs to be worked on for next year. I think we've got the hoodoo of the league out the way now. The league's certainly not going to be a formality. Celtic have got a big rebuilding job to go, but we can't rest on our laurels, and I think that's ultimately what we've done really ever since we wrapped up the league. I wouldn't say it's understandable, because we're Rangers, we expect to win things, and that's been drilled into these players now. And if they don't know the expectations by now, then they maybe need to find another club. But that's another story for another day. Ultimately, I don't think we've kicked a ball since we wrapped up the league. However, we've got to pick ourselves back up for next week, because we play Celtic on Sunday the 2nd of May, and that's a midday kick-off, I think. Ultimately, it's a glorified friendly. That's all it is. But obviously, with the unbeaten run still to play for, I expect fully now that we're out the cup that the players give it their all for that, because they've got to give something back after today, to be honest. So we'll see what happens there. Dave and I'm not too sure what's going to be happening with the next podcast, so we might have a glut of fixtures to go over. So as ever, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find most of the stuff that we do. So, disappointing night all round. Players have got to really understand what it means to play for Rangers sometimes. Performances like that are not acceptable in the slightest, but we pick ourselves up and we move on. So, thanks for listening, and goodbye.